Right, welcome everybody to a very different but exciting video on the Bevvy channel. We have gone global. We are no longer in Edinburgh or indeed Scotland. We are in Sofia in Bulgaria in the fantastic whiskey bar Caldo. So it's very exciting to be here. We are visiting for the Sofia Whiskey Festival, which is going on at the moment, but we thought we'd take some time away from the busyness and the kind of craziness of a festival to have a few drams and take a breath and take it all in. I'm very delighted to say Ross has transformed into a much more handsome version. I'm joined by Ratko, who is...
Hi.
It's kind of an unusual story. So we've known each other for quite a few years. In my previous job at an online whiskey auction house, Ratko was troublesome with lots of emails and requests for bottles to be sent in, reserves to be changed, condition reports. So we've sort of developed a bit of a friendship over that time. But we met for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So Ratko
very nice meeting you.
I know, it wasn't, if I say never meet your heroes, but here we are. So in terms of your background, Ratko, you're, I assume, from Eastern Europe. What's your story? What's your interest in whiskey?
I'm from Belgrade, Serbia. So my interest in whiskey started really early, I think. I was in my maybe 20s, early 20s.
Okay.
And I started like everyone probably does with Glenfiddich 12 years old.
Yep.
So, I mean, the serious stuff started with that. And ever since I was hooked. I transferred a bit to wine and then I returned again to whiskey. So,
because in Serbia there's an impressive wine selection, isn't there? There's a few like, oh, you need to try this, you need to try that, and rakia as well as a thing that's completely unique.
Rakia is impressive. Yeah.
And that's kind of similar to whiskey in that it's the same. It's a bit like grappa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Very similar. Although grappa is from grapes, and rakia can be made from basically all the fruit, whichever fruit you want. But the most famous one is Šljivovica, which is the rakia from plums.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll look forward to trying that.
like in whole of Balkans, not only in Serbia.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. And at the whiskey festival so far, what are the stands, what are the exhibitors that you've been drawn to? What sort of whiskies do you look for at a festival?
You mean here in Sofia? Or?
Yeah, or any festival.
Yeah.
What is special for you?
To be honest, I'm old school whiskey guy, so I like vintage whiskies that are aged a bit, and
hence why I used to keep
like
bothering
the profile.
Me at auction. Yeah. All these old dusty old bottles.
Dusties.
Cool. And in terms of flavour profile of distilleries, do you generally like the big smoky Islay whiskies or maybe sherried whiskies, or
I like everything, to be honest, but I prefer maybe bourbon whiskies that are aged in bourbon barrels. And distilleries I love maybe would be Springbank, Ben Nevis, and Clynelish.
Yes, cool.
My favorite.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we're delighted that you're able to join us in this amazing... Have you been here before in Sofia to this?
Yeah, I've been twice to this bar now, but I've been twice to Sofia Whiskey Festival. 2 years ago and maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Cool. And your first impressions of Whiskey Bar?
I love
it.
I love this bar.
Yeah, I think Whiskey Bar
very authentic.
Yes, I think you like. I like a whiskey bar that feels modern but also traditional at the same time. It's got an amazing place, but the fact that they accept Bitcoin at the bar as well, it's really, really modern.
Nice touch.
Yeah, a nice touch. That's great. So, shall we try some whiskey?
Yes.
Since that's our thing.
Yes, please.
We thought to mark this special occasion, we'd get a very special bottle as well. So this is Highland Park, which I'm sure most people can recognise, but it's a single cask bottling, which was exclusive for Sofia, which is amazing for Bulgaria, for the market. Highland Park as a distillery, is it one you're fairly familiar with? What makes Highland Park a special distillery for you?
I love it because it has a balance between, let's say, maybe a touch of Islay in it and quite a bit more of Highlands in it. But I like the profile. Sure. I like it very much.
Cool, excellent. And a single cask bottling is obviously special because it's so limited. This one is from cask number 6275, which is limited to 597 bottles. So it's very, very special, but it's very limited. I suppose with a single cask, they can be quite inconsistent as well.
I tried quite a lot of Highland Park single casks. They can be inconsistent, definitely, but they generally all have some very strong sherry influence and
cool.
Nice profile.
Well, without further ado, we'll get stuck into this one. Even just looking at the colour, this seems to be a typical
strong sherry
influence. This one's been matured for 13 years in a refill puncheon. So, what sort of flavours are you expecting? Are we going to lose that kind of classic Highland Park smoke, do you think, with the cask being so dominant?
It's refilled, so I hope not.
Hope not. Yeah, it is bottled at a fairly punchy strength. This one is 66.4%, which is
almost the devil's number.
Almost the devil's number. So Ratco, obviously you're a whiskey enthusiast, and maybe a little bit of a collector as well. You do a lot of whiskey tasting notes, which we're delighted to feature on the app. How did that start? Is it something that you've always done, recording the flavours?
Yeah, I started with wine actually.
Okay.
And then I transferred to whiskey again. Then I just, it was, I don't know, like normal for me to just continue doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it also for a group on Facebook, Balkan Whiskey Club is the name of the group. That's where I'm writing my notes. So, and now on Bevvy also.
Yeah.
It's not now, some months ago, or maybe
that's great. And I think it's
years.
Yeah, I think the nice thing when we've been putting all together these tasting notes on the app is it will have a load of notes from you, notes from Charlie McLean, all these respected whiskey writers. And it's so interesting when there's different notes for the same whiskey, because you all know your whiskies, you're all very experienced, but you can often describe them in very, very different ways. Do you find you sort of revisit notes sometimes if you're trying whiskey again and you pick up completely different flavors?
Yeah, it happens quite a lot. If I'm trying it again, I generally don't watch it, my old notes.
Yes.
And I just write new ones, and I find that I write completely new notes every single time. The score maybe stays very similar, but notes are quite different.
Yeah, you've confused us a few times sending us notes. It's, we've already got that one for Ratco. It's like, no, we don't. Yes, we do. It's completely different. But it's really, really good. On the nose of this one, is there anything?
On the nose, I would say sherry, which is obvious. A bit of caramel. Yeah,
it doesn't smell as strong as you'd expect. I was expecting to be sort of
especially at 66.4. I was expecting quite a punchy whiskey.
Yeah,
but this is pretty mellow.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Cheers. Looking forward to trying this. Yeah, you can taste the strength a bit more. But it doesn't feel. There's still so much to it.
Yeah, a lot of cooked fruit, a lot of dried fruit also.
Yeah, for me it's quite sort of like
a little
leathery
bit astringent, I would say.
Okay, it's definitely a big
leathery, maybe walnuts.
Yeah. Should we try it with a touch of water?
Maybe.
It's a bit of a brute. Actually, I'll let you go first.
Thanks.
It's full-bodied, very, very complex whiskey. I do wonder if I'd be able to identify that as a Highland Park if the bottle wasn't sat here.
I agree, very difficult to do it with so much sherry influence. Maybe we should let it sit for a while.
That's right. Do you generally, when you taste whiskies and kind of analyse them, do you always do it with and without water? Do you feel that?
To be honest, no, because I usually taste my whiskies from samples.
Okay.
So the sample size is not enough for me to try it with and without water. Okay. Sometimes I do, but I prefer, if I have let's say 3 cl of a sample, I prefer to let someone else taste the other 1 cl, let's say, and me taste 2 cls, then to add water and taste it again.
Sure. So your generosity makes it difficult for you. Actually, I should say the number of samples you brought us here is ridiculous. We've only got hand luggage, so we're going to have to drink them all while we're here. We can't take them back with us.
That's not too bad.
No space.
To be honest, on the nose, it didn't open that much, for me at least. I don't know for you.
I know, it's still...
It's more or less
it
the
feels
same.
quite closed. I put in a fair bit of water actually because it is very strong. But we'll give it another taste and see if it opens up a bit more. So for whiskies like this, which are single cask and very, very limited, for people who are watching who are perhaps kind of whiskey collectors or investors, would you say this is the sort of thing that is a good bottle to buy that's going to perhaps go up in future, or have those days gone?
Difficult to say because those days are probably gone, but no one can say it for sure, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a nice bottle. It's amazing that Bulgaria got its bottle from Highland Park. That's really a prestige.
Yeah.
So that for sure is nice, and number of bottles is not so big, so probably all of them are going to get sold or already are sold.
Yeah.
But regarding the value on auctions, I don't think it's gonna move much from retail.
I think bottles of this are special, but there are a lot of single cask Highland Parks.
Yeah, Highland Parks makes a lot of single casks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think even the most avid Highland Park collector, I feel like maybe 2 or 3 years ago,
gets tired of
I can't collect them all. There's too many of them. But in terms of whiskey, this is...
It's a really good whiskey. Yeah, really good whiskey. Yeah, modern, but really good. Yeah,
it's a bit of a brute. I think for me, I quite enjoy Highland Park in bourbon casks because you get to taste that sort of heathery smokiness a little bit more.
And you get the profile more of Highland Park. This is very chocolatey and leathery, as you said.
Yeah, I think it's a great whiskey for maybe the colder months. It's definitely going to warm you up.
Which are going to get here soon.
Yes.
So yeah.
No, really tasty. Perhaps not for everybody, but an amazing thing to try. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you for having me.
A pleasure, and we look forward to reading more of your notes on the app soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bevvy content. We want to hear what you think, your best whiskey experiences, the whiskies you want us to try. It's a really exciting journey we're on, so make sure to join us. Download the Bevvy app on Google Play and App Store to keep track of your whiskey journey, connect with your whiskey friends, keep track of your favourites, anything you could ever want to do with whiskey, all in one place. It's the definitive whiskey companion.